because I forgot how it was to love somebody. Like, I forgot how that feeling was to be affectionate because I was so far from you.
Shani. Shout out to my best friend. Shout out to my best friend. Girl, you are a blessing. We got reconnections. We kick it, we romance. Tell them up my mansions. No but double dipping. I'm tired of a letdown. I got up on my mission. I could see it clearly, baby. Knew that we was destined. I remember time we used distant. Now it's a petition. Trust that premonition. They say love is blind, but you gotta have intuition. Waiting for us to follow. My trust in you, I'll follow. Ain't hard, but you wallow. Down to my girl, I couldn't do you like that, cause I carry feelings. What I really like about you, baby, you the realest. I know that you listening. Shout out to my best friend.
Welcome fam bam. It's your girl Karina.
Shani, we boy back in the building.
If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and join the fam bam, and make sure to hit this like button because today we're gonna come to them with something a little more serious, but you know, it's important.
Today we're gonna be dropping some gems for you guys. All you guys out there in those long distance relationships, I know say it's difficult, hang in there, we got you. Make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe to our channel. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you guys can know what's going on. We're about to give you some gems. All right,
so for many of you who don't know, Shani and I were long distance for 3 years. He lived in Jamaica and I lived here in the States, and it was pretty difficult. I would say it was definitely some of the most difficult times in our life because we weren't physically there for each other, and a lot of things happened, and we weren't there for
a lot of life changes, life milestones.
Yeah.
Like happens.
Yeah, like getting our first job right after college, moving. I moved to the city. Things like that happened. It was a lot, and thank God I have my baby here. But we just wanna drop some gems for you guys and tell you guys how we survived it, because I know a lot of people who after we're going through the same thing, and so it's for you guys.
Yeah, and a lot of people who have gone through the same thing, and whatever happened, but basically at the end of the day we just want to, I guess, give some knowledge. That's all.
Yes.
Or in fact not even knowledge, like we just want to share our experiences. The sex, obviously, right? That's an obvious thing. It's a natural human thing. It's a natural human thing. So, but at the end of the day, aside from that, I would say something around maybe like having an argument and then trying to solve for that, whatever that is. Because at the end of the day, all you really have is FaceTime, and all you really have is text messages and stuff. Is not really the same, as being physically in the same room with someone. So whenever you have a difficult moment or some difficulty, you're going through some difficulty during the relationship, it makes it's a little bit, you get your space. Like I'm someone who needs my space to think whenever I'm going through something, but so I get that space, but at the same time, like when it comes down to times talking about things, it's just not the same, and a lot of things can be solved with just kiss and makeup and call it a day, but solved temporarily with that. But basically, you don't have that option, so you better work through that, whatever it is. So that's definitely like one of those major challenges for me. That was definitely one of the major challenges for me. How about you?
So a major challenge for me was not being able to fully live in the moment because I was like texting you or being on my phone all the time. So, and that's gonna be one of the tips that we're gonna drop after, but it was like Shani and I were on the phone all the time, and although it was it was nice and everything, like I wish she just was there to experience things with me, because I'm very outgoing. I love to hang out with friends, hang out with family, And it's not really the same explaining things to you through text and you actually living it with me. So I feel like not really being present. And also it was hard to be present because obviously the whole time I was thinking, I wish Shani was here to experience this with me, to have fun the way I'm having fun, to see how things are going, you know, because there's one thing to tell somebody, but then one thing for them to actually live it with you. So I feel now that he's here, he understands more what I'm talking about because he's living it, and you know, we get to share those experiences together in person rather than me having to tell him, you know, hey babe, today I was with my family, guess what happened, da, da, da. Like, no, he's here so he can see it, you know, and he can feel it with me. So I feel that was a hard one for me.
Yeah. Interesting.
So, going to the tips on how to survive long distance relationship. I feel like number one, definitely communication. Chris and I were literally on FaceTime all the time. All the time. And it was really nice because obviously, you know, we couldn't be there in person. So it was still nice to have him there on the phone and be like, hey babe, look, or look at this, or guess what happened. And we were on the phone all the time. Like, you can ask all my best friends, they will tell you. We communicated a lot, and we even slept on FaceTime together. Yeah. Every night we slept on FaceTime. Thank God. I
could count on my hand the number of nights that we have not slept on FaceTime, you know. Yeah, literally every week, every moment, you know, basically on FaceTime. Like, I don't know how they did it back in the past, but right now, you know, now is the best time to get into long distance relationships, guys.
Now it's not the best. This is never the best time, but now it's definitely easier.
Yeah. Between FaceTiming, WhatsApping, anything. Even if my phone was down, or even if my WhatsApp was down, or FaceTime wasn't working, or whatever it is not working, you know, then we've gone on to Facebook Messenger. I hate Facebook Messenger, but then, you know, I had to use something, right? You know, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, the goal is almost like the goal at the end of each day is to ensure that you're able to communicate with the person you love. And that's pretty much what long distance relationships are, you know. A big part of it for me too, I mean, I guess I can go to number two.
Alright, number two.
So point two, well, point one kind of segues into this one, but basically what's super important for long distance relationships is knowing when you're going to see your partner again. Like, knowing when you're going to see your partner again gives you something to look forward to, and it gives them something to look forward to as well. A big part of it as well is, for me at least, it gave me an like, if I know say I'm going to see Karina at a certain time, like, it's literally that's all I well, that was one of the biggest things that I looked forward to. So it's like, it made it easier to go day by day without her, you know, being physically there. So it's a huge coping mechanism.
I agree with you. We used to see each other literally every 3 months until the pandemic happened, which really was horrible.
But by that time, though, we didn't have paperwork or country and everything, so we didn't know, so we soon see each other for a long time.
Yeah. So right before the pandemic happened, quick story time. I last saw him in January before the pandemic, and I was supposed to see him in April, and boom, the borders closed. After that, we were just literally the only thing that kept us going was the fact that we knew that the paperwork was coming, and we were just gonna see each other for like forever, basically. So that really kept us going a lot. But yeah, we used to see each other every 3 months. He would come here or I would go there, and we would just vice versa. Like, yeah.
What worked for me as well is that because I know when I'm going to see her, all I have to do is just, you know, go day by day. I'm not saying don't live your life, but just saying at the end of the day, you know, like, have things in your life that make it easier to go through the days.
I was gonna say that.
So point three, like, basically have things in your life that make it easier for you to cope with not being around your partner, because obviously that makes you sad sometimes, right? So then that for me was one, like, having a certain routine. So we both of us was trying to get our bodies together. So, you know, we are in the gym like basically like every day or as much as we could for that mental health. Not the bodies, yes, but also the mental health. Another thing is that you gotta do things that you love within those time frames, and you always give them something to talk about. Obviously, you know what I mean. Like, I'm a musician, so You know, like I did music a lot, you know, so that obviously helped me to cope. You know, Yard and B is literally about her if you listen to all the tracks. So it's like, as you can see, like it's almost like I'm talking about how I love somebody who is not physically present, or who's not physically present with me. You know what I mean? So that's how, I guess, how deep that goes. So Yard and B was my first album. Just if y'all don't know, y'all can go on Spotify.
Make sure to cop that, download it, whatever you gotta do.
Make sure to stream it. You know, and let us know in the comments if you like it. You can DM me, you can DM her. It doesn't matter. We will respond to you.
For me, basically, like what he said, and something that I did get into was definitely fitness. I got into CrossFit, and I had like my CrossFit community. I also started my curly hair journey, like doing YouTube videos, doing videos on Instagram. That definitely was like the highlight of my days too. Just, you know, being able to create that way was definitely something that helped me cope through long distance, you know, because I had a hobby and I had a passion. So I was putting my energy into that instead of like putting my energy into other people or anything like that. The fourth point I want to say is definitely my support system helped me. I was never lonely. I always surrounded myself with my family, with my friends. I have like the best, I always say it, I have the best support system ever. My family is amazing. My friends are amazing. I love all of them. Like they literally, each and every one of them helped me get through not being with close to Shani. And that's honestly something that I will always hold dear to my heart, because times of like birthdays or holidays and stuff that I couldn't be with him, they would invite me, you know, like come spend time with us, like don't be alone, like we got you. That was really, really a big thing for me. And also, not only that, because you can have friends or whatever and family, but ones that actually respect your relationship and aren't going to try to make you do something that's gonna hinder your relationship. So my friends and my family knew I was in a committed relationship. They knew I loved Krishani. They knew that he was my husband. They never got me in a situation that I would regret later on. And I really appreciated that about them. So definitely your support system. And I had, you know, people to go out with. Obviously it was like 3 years, so I did have a lot of people to go out with my friends and my family. I also traveled to see him, but I also traveled with my friends. Like we would have girls trips. I guess knowing that I loved you, because I forgot how it was to love somebody. Like I forgot how that feeling was to be affectionate, because I was so far from you and I wasn't physical, you know, that physical affection. So like discipline in the sense that I knew, although sometimes I didn't feel the love, I knew I loved him. And not saying that I didn't love you, but I didn't have that emotion in me because I didn't have to express it. So obviously when you don't use something, you don't really, you know, you forget what it is. It's like when you're starting to fall in love again. When you've been single for a while and then you're trying to get in love, like that's, obviously I knew I wasn't single, but I forgot how it was to be affectionate and to be loving and stuff like that. But I knew I loved him. So that's the discipline that I'm talking about. Like I knew, so I guess knowing that you love somebody, there you go. Knowing that I loved him, that's all that really mattered. That, you know, during times that I was like, yo, like this is a lot, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. I knew I loved Krishani, so I knew that at the end it was gonna be all worth it. And every time I saw him, it was, you know, that affection came back, but then it was only temporary. Because then I would leave and then back to like, obviously I was showing love to my family and to my friends, but that's a different type of love than showing it to, you know, somebody like your spouse. So that there, yeah. Would you say the same?
No, because I know say I love you.
No, I knew I loved him, but
no, let me talk to you. You talk no. I know say I love you. When I see you again, it's not like I need to get back into them. No, brothers, it's automatic still, always ready.
No, for me it was different. For me, it's like when I don't do something enough, I forget how to do it.
Alright, what was the next one though?
And love, I read a quote too saying that love is an emotion, yes, but it's a choice. Like you choose to love that you choose to wake up and love that person every day. And I agree. I think love is a choice. Because during times that I literally just wanted to rip your head off, like I know I love you. So I choose to love you during the worst times too, you know, through the good and the bad. So love is a choice. It definitely isn't a feeling, but when you don't feel it, it's a choice.
It's almost like you have to really have good relationship etiquette. You know, you have to, because you know, women are always going to talk about communication, right? But it's like you really genuinely have to actually communicate what you're feeling, what you're thinking, you know what I mean? And what, like you really have to exhaust it's low-key you have to exhaust the argument in a sense. Like you have to ensure that you guys cover all the topics. Cause it's like, yo, you're far away from somebody, it's so much easier for things to get worse than they actually are. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, that's another tip. If you're arguing with somebody, with your spouse, and they live in another country or even city, I would say just call them. Don't even text them, because things can get misconstrued so badly. Yeah, that's the type, you're arguing. Things can get misconstrued so badly if you're just texting somebody. So just call them up, even if it's just a regular phone call, and just talk to them, because just by them hearing your voice, it'll like, you know, it'll offset a lot of things, like a lot of things that shouldn't even be there. Like, why are you giving me attitude, or why are you doing this, why are you doing that? So definitely, if it's something serious, just call them. And if they're like, no, tell me, like I can't pick up, but tell me, like, no, I'll call you when you're ready or when you can talk, because through text it's just gonna be hostile. That's something that we did good. Like we would just call each other up and stuff, but sometimes he wouldn't even answer. But also I try to give him his space too, so when he was ready, he just calls me.
When I'm in an argument with somebody, I'm not talk to you.
Yeah. What really helped us is that we're friends. Like we're friends first, and you know, he knows what I like, I know what he likes. He knows I know what he wouldn't like, and he knows what I wouldn't like. So just having that mutual respect for each other went a long way. And like the respect as a friend, because I feel that you wouldn't bring your friends down, so why would you bring your spouse down? You know, you wouldn't want to disappoint them, you wouldn't want to disappoint your friends, so why would you want to disappoint your spouse? So I saw Shani as my best, I still see him as my best friend. Like even though we argue and stuff like that, obviously I'm not going to treat him like I treat my best friends, but at the end of the day, I know where my values stand, and I know what he's okay with and what he's not okay with. So even though we argue and I'd be like blah blah blah, we say whatever we say, I don't cross the boundaries that I'm not supposed to cross, because I respect him. So yeah.
Thank you for respecting me, baby. I have one last one that I think is super important, and it probably gets overlooked a lot, and I know a lot of people go through it, but when it comes down to long distance relationships, and I guess Karen kind of mentioned it earlier, but I just want to, I guess, reiterate and really stick it home. But like when it comes down to your relationship is between you. The first thing, one, is that it's between you, both of you guys. So at the end of the day, if there's an issue or whatever, like certain things shouldn't be shared outside of the relationship. You understand? That's basically, that's basically a principle, like even while you're together physically. So like try your best to not, you know, share it with share it with the wrong person, and then they're going to give you information that's going to, or suggestions, opinions that's going to basically make your relationship even worse. You know what I'm saying? That, which brings me to my second, which is basically, at the end of the day, you have to stand guard to your relationship. There will be people that will literally think that your long distance relationship is a joke, or it's not real because it's long distance or whatever, or maybe you just do it for the visa or whatever. Like people can come with all these like 120% negative energy towards your relationship, and it's like you have to stand guard and be like, I know, so whenever you go around those type of people, if you're going around them, you have to stand true to yourself, and that goes back to that discipline. And
a lot of people are going to be like, oh, why are you with them? You know, they have somebody else. Like that's BS. You know, at the end of the day, if you trust your partner and your partner trusts you, just work towards it. Like who cares what everybody says? Like block off all that outside noise and just prove everybody wrong.
Alright, I hope that we covered most of the tips.
Let us know if you liked the video.
But you know, at the end of the day, you know, like really appreciate you guys watching us and stuff.
Post notification shout out goes to Teresa. Thank you so much for watching our videos and for commenting below. We really appreciate all your support. I know you're a super mom out there, but you know, taking the time to watch our videos, that really means a lot to us. So yeah, you guys, we hope you guys liked this video. If you did, let us know in the comments below what was your favorite advice, what advice are you guys doing or have you done in the past. And yeah, share a talk with us, like share with us. And you don't have to be in a long distance relationship, just let us know, you know, what works in your relationship. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and as always,
peace, love, and blessings from the Boothe.